Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about self-love and give you some tips on how to get started on a self-love journey. And as you already know, I named the coaching business Self-Love. Reason being is because at one point I realized that the way I was self-loving me was not the best way to go. So that actually made me discover, or maybe discover such a big word, but it made me realize that a lot of us are not self-loving ourselves. Okay, so self-love is when you take that consciousness to your well-being, for you to be okay, for your welfare. So that's the main reason why self-love became so catchy. So what I want to tell you is, when was the last time you asked yourself or checked yourself, how am I doing in the self-love area? Am I truly taking care of myself? Am I loving myself? Or am I thinking that I'm loving myself, but I'm harming myself? Okay, so I want you to do that. First thing is reality check. How are you doing in the self-love arena? Once you discover where you're at, if you're like, oh, I'll give myself a 5, give myself a 10, I'll give myself a 1, or I didn't even think of self-love. What I want to tell you is we have to be cautious with the self-love spectrum, okay? So let's say you gave yourself a 10 in self-love, which is great. Pat yourself on the back, because then that means you're truly, truly, truly loving yourself. But what I also want you to check is, did I give myself a 10 in the self-love because it's my vanity? It's me, 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 me. And if that's the case, then be careful not to confuse self-love with narcissism. Okay, we want a balance in everything. So I want you to truly do that self-analysis and check yourselves. Are you doing self-love? Or are you being selfish? Or are you turning into a narcissist? So you always want to do things with a balance. You don't want to be so low, you don't want to be so high. You want to be in the middle, in an average, unless it's a competition or it's a bigger price, right? I'm talking overall balance in life. Too little of something is bad. Too much of something is also not good. So I want you to think of that, pinpoint that, and ask yourselves, if I'm at a 10, what can I do to bring myself a little bit lower and be of contribution to others? Or if I'm at a 1, what happened there? How did I get into a 1 of self-love? Love. Maybe your self-worth. Maybe somebody crushed your self-worth and they crushed your self-love. Now, I would have to add to this, it doesn't take one day for somebody to crush you that much. Okay, it has to be a trending pattern. And analyze that. Who did it? Why? When? How? Why did I allow it? There are so many things to take into perspective. And also remember that the changes don't come easy. You, myself, everybody, we are in our own journeys, and taking that journey to get the result, it's part of it. Okay, so please understand that it's not going to be easy to change. It's definitely that path, and that path is what you need to enjoy. So I want to give you some tips on how to start the self-loving and what you can do. The first thing is, and this can be in any type of relationship, I mean friendships, marriage, work, it doesn't matter. We all have different roles to play, all of us. So the first thing is, in whatever relationship topic or aspect that you're selecting, I want you to know your role. Know your role. If you are a sister, what is your role as the sister? If you're a wife, what is your role as the wife? If you're a teacher, what is your role? Doesn't matter what it is. What is your role? Define it. Give it a description. Once you analyze what is your role in every relationship that you have, and you don't have to do them all at the same time. You can start with one, the most important one. I want you to accept your role. Accept the role in that position. Accept it. If it's a position where you're like, I don't want to accept my role because that's not making me happy, then that's a very different story. Okay, you need to change the mindset there. If you're in a role where you're not happy and you don't want to accept that role, then I want you to contemplate and think, what am I going to do to change my role? Now, remember, it's easier said than done because, like I said, this is a journey, and sometimes your role cannot be switched. What do I mean by that? If you're in a family, you have a role, and it's hard to switch you from that role. It's best if you accept your current role, then switch the role, unless it's being abusive, okay? Or sometimes if it's a parent or your husband or your wife, it's hard to go against that role if you don't like it. Now, if you're in danger, then that's a different story. Okay, so I want you to contemplate that as well. Why am I in this role? Do I accept it or do I not accept it? Do I accept my role, even though there's some things I don't correspond with, I don't see eye to eye, but it's best if I continue my role just to keep the waters tamed? Or is it time for me to make a change, to change this role because I'm tired of it? Okay, so it's going to take some time and effort for you to do this. It's going to take some time for you to journal it, for you to sit down and actually analyze these roles so you can make those changes. And lastly, once you know your role, accept your role, then this is going to be a life changer. I want you to maximize your goal. What does that mean? Maximize your goal. So if you already know your position, then maximize it. Do the best. Go for it. Make those relationships better. Make yourself better in the sense that, you know what? I know my role. I accept it and I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be of service. Okay. That's where self-love kicks in, where you're loving yourself, but you're also contributing to others. Okay, now if you're contributing too much to the point where you feel depleted, maybe you need to pull back and then go and do some self-love. Go ahead and be with yourself. It doesn't matter if you're a mother, if you are a wife, a husband, doesn't matter. And I chose these entities because they're strong. But at the end of the day, the longest relationship you're going to have is with yourself. That's the bottom line. And if you're okay being with who you are, then you're going to be able to be better with others. That's the bottom line. Sometimes you need a break from the kids. Sometimes you need a break from the husband or the wife. It's very different from I need a break from you, then I'm gonna go find someone else because that's what I define as a break and come back. I'm not saying that. Just a break where you can be with yourself, talk to yourself, recharge, analyze yourself, so you can come back and be that person that you have to be. And it goes for both genders, for females and males. It goes both ways. So I want you to contemplate and truly, truly think about self-love. And you can let me know in the comments, what is self-love to you? And also think how you have been rewarding yourself for loving yourself. Have you been loving yourself in the proper way, or have you been loving yourself in a way that you're harming yourself? And what you can do to change it and become a better person. Now, last thing I want to tell you, remember, it's a journey. It's a journey. Everybody's on a different page. Do not compare yourself to someone else. Do not compare yourself to someone else. If you want to compare yourself to someone else later on, it takes time. Okay, it takes time, because if you compare yourself to somebody that is in a situation that is worse than you, then yes, you're going to be on top. If you compare with somebody that is super, super above us, then it's like, ooh, how do I reach that? You have to be in a mindset where you do want to challenge yourself, but you also have to be in a mindset where, oh, okay, I'm going to be mean to this person because I feel they're below me. So I don't recommend that. So just take care of your personal journey. If you want to change the world, it starts with oneself. Okay, it starts with us. So that's what I want to leave you with today. The whole self-love. Check in. Where are you in the self-love department? Give yourself a number. If you want to let me know in the comments, I'm in a 1, I'm in a 10, I'm in a 5, I'm 7, so on and so forth. I would truly appreciate that. If you want some live coaching sessions, just go ahead and email me. We can work something out. And remember that life is a journey, and transformation, it's a pathway. And check in with the self-love, and also check in with the self-love that it's not vanity or it turns into narcissism. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video today. I will see you in the next one. And starting on the next videos, I will start calling you self-lovers. So I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.